What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Injection of Inspiration, where every single Saturday right here on the show, I, Graham GSM Matthews, inject you with a daily dose of motivational advice, helpful tips, and all that other great positive stuff. So here on the show today, I do want to talk about a quote that I was given, I was inspired by who other than Mr. Jason at Blue Eye Disorder here on the YouTube. Check out his channel. Be sure to subscribe for some great videos, some awesome content. He said this quote to me. It was something that he had said just really out of the blue. I think when we were hanging out a few weeks ago when we recorded the Americans Eating English Food video. Again, check that out. Great stuff. Not for us, but it's great for entertainment value watching it back. But anyway, so he had said to me, and I'm going to try not to bungle the quote. So if I do, Jason, and I know you're listening, I apologize, brother, but the question, or rather the quote, was something along the lines of, I would rather die for something than live for nothing. And I thought that was so powerful. And even he realized, like, what he had just said after he had said, he's like, holy shit, like, that could be your next quote in your video. I'm like, yes, it could be. I'm going to use that for injection of inspiration. And it's so true. And I've said this before, and again, a lot of the stuff I talk about here in the show, I've absolutely mentioned at one point or another in past episodes. It's bound to happen when you go over 40 episodes with a series. But I thought it was such a powerful quote, and I really haven't honed in on it for a singular topic yet, an injection of inspiration, that you gotta live for a purpose. Life is all about serving a purpose. You are put on this earth for a reason. And how many times have we said before, everything happens for a reason here on the show? You are the reason. You gotta find your reason. You are the reason. But for what reason you are on this earth, or on this planet, you gotta discover that yourself. You may not know right now. You may not know that tomorrow, but you will find out eventually, and it's all a matter of wanting to find out. If you want to know why you're on this earth and discovering your full purpose in life, you will find it eventually. It's the people who could not care less and go throughout life not giving a shit about certain things. Now, me personally, I'm the type of person who also doesn't care, but in a different way. I don't care what other people think of me. I don't care about what other people are doing, but I personally care about life. Once you start giving a shit about life, life's going to start giving a shit about you. There's a lot of people who have this mindset that think, oh, life is just passing me by because I really serve no purpose. I can't make a difference. I don't make a difference. I'm pointless. I'm meaningless. I'm nothing, which could not be any further from the truth. You got to realize your own worth, going back to last week, before anyone can realize the worth inside you. There are going to be people who boost you up, those rare people who will see something in you when you don't see something in yourself. But you have to see something in yourself before others can believe in you. That's just the way that it works. But going back to Jason's quote, though, because I know I've talked about that other stuff a million times before, that you got to find your purpose. You got to risk it all for what you believe in, what you're passionate about, what your beliefs are. Then just live for nothing. If you were presented with a choice, and obviously life and death are two very crucial things, to die and to not come back is a pretty giant leap, don't get me wrong, but to go throughout life and to die for whatever reason, doing what you love and to doing it to serve a purpose, I mean, it goes back to people who serve in the military. That's exactly what this quote is meant for people. I knew someone from high school, for people like that serve in the military, that serve us, that serve our country. First of all, we should respect, appreciate, and acknowledge those people. That's the first step of our duties as an American. And, well beyond America, kind of goes along the entire earth here. Even if you aren't an American, it can go well beyond that for people in other countries and those that serve us. You should respect, appreciate, and acknowledge those people. But anyway, going back to what I was saying, I knew someone in high school that I would consider my best friend from that time, but we really haven't talked since then. Like, we literally graduated and we never spoke again. He never made an effort to talk to me. I never made an effort to talk to him. We'd exchange pleasantries every once in a while, with him saying happy birthday and vice versa. That's really about it, because his birthday's a few days before mine. But anyway, so in the 3 or 4 years that I knew him for, he was very, very passionate about joining the Marines. And people told him no, that he couldn't make it, that he was way too short. And he wasn't small. I'm not big. I'm 5'11". He was definitely shorter than me. He wasn't like 5'5" or anything, but he was definitely of smaller size to be considered for the Marines. Like, not all that likely to make it in or whatever. But the kid was fucking passionate. He was very, very hell-bent on doing what he was set out to do, and he knew what his purpose in life was, to join the Marines. Not only was that he felt like he needed to, it was because that was what he wanted to do. And that's exactly what he did. Soon after we graduated, I had seen some status that he posted on Facebook saying that's what he ended up doing. He joined the Marines soon after graduation, and people did not believe him before that point, thinking that, he would ever make it to that stage in his life. He would ever make it to the Marines. And he fucking proved those people wrong. And I've talked about proving the world wrong before, but that was his purpose in life. And he thought, joining the Army, the Marines, the Navy, whatever, is a very serious thing. And people that feel that they need to or that they want to, you got to give major respect to those people. Major respect, major props to those people. Because they're putting their lives on the line for us. Not only for themselves, but for us. And they're dying for something, if they even die at all. But the chance of whether they come back alive could be catastrophic. You know what I mean? There's a very good chance they may not come back in the same way they left. And for that reason alone, they realize they are doing it for a purpose. They're not going out there because, fuck it, why not? They're doing it because they love this country or whatever country they serve, and because they know they're serving a purpose in their life. And it goes, it can be applied to any real facet, whether you're in the Army or doing this or doing that. You may work at a gas station and not really putting your life on the line, but you're still serving a purpose if you feel like that's what your purpose is. There's really never a dead end. Like even people who work at McDonald's, like I hate that old excuse that, if you make it a lower end job making minimal income, then you're a fucking loser. No, the fucking losers are the people who don't try. Now, there might be people who are working at those type of establishments that aren't trying to make it elsewhere, or who know their purpose, or who don't know their purpose or don't care about their purpose, or just go throughout life just trying to make it by. That's a different story. But I could tell you about other people that I met in college, in other places, who are working at, nice places, who don't know what their purpose is. They're just doing it because they feel like they have to. Not because they know that that's their purpose in life. They just think that it's expected of them. That's why they do it. So it doesn't matter whether you're working at a fucking shoe store or you're the CEO of a company. If you're not passionate about what you do and you don't feel like you're... Fulfillment, I think, is the perfect word that I was trying to look for here. If you do not feel fulfilled in whatever you do, then you're not succeeding, and therefore you're not happy. Or you're not happy, therefore you're not succeeding. I've talked about that before. It's not the other way around. You can't be successful without being happy. You can be happy, but then you're also successful. Like, to be successful business-wise, it doesn't necessarily mean you're happy. And we've talked about that before a million times as well. But anyway, going back to what I was saying earlier, that you need to know that you're serving a purpose in life. Find your purpose. Stand for something. Find your beliefs. Don't just be a fucking sheep and follow what other people say. Whether you're in middle school, high school, college, just another person out there. There are so many people who don't have opinions of their own and are so afraid of offending others. Who fucking cares? I mean, obviously be respectful of other people. Don't get me wrong. But you need to be adamant enough. You need to be bold and have your own opinion. You need to be yourself. And you can't do that without standing for something. So stand for something. I'm not saying you need to put your body in the line by going into the Army or the Marines or the Navy or whatever. But you need to stand for something. And it goes back to Jason's awesome quote. Once again, a shout out to Jason for this really, really good quote, that he would rather die for something than live for nothing. What is life without a purpose? You know what I mean? You may be alive, you may be breathing, but what the fuck are you doing with your life? Like, do you really even want to make it to the next level? Are you happy? Do you want to be happy is the question you should be asking yourself. That's the question I present to you folks here today. So be sure to think about that. Are you happy? Do you feel fulfilled? Do you feel fulfilled? Are you achieving life to the fullest? Are you living life to the fullest? There are some people who will never get that opportunity again that were living life to the fullest and serving a purpose and are now dead because they were doing so, and they stood for something, and they died standing for something, yet you are still on this earth doing nothing. Like, who's the real winner there? You may still be alive, but you aren't standing for anything. So we're getting deep into the rabbit hole here. I'll end it there, but just some food for thought. So as always, guys, thank you for checking out the video, this episode of Injection of Inspiration. We will be back next Saturday with another all-new installment of the show. Until then, be sure to like this video, drop a comment, share the video, and subscribe to the channel for more daily content. I'm Graham G.S. Matthews. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, folks, and I'll catch your ass down the road.